Morning, everyone. Welcome to another installment, a very special installment of Mornin Oats. We got our oats. We got our coffee.
We got screaming babies.
And we have crazy family, and we also have Periscope. So that's why this is a special installment. I'm not sure if you guys can see that. Hey, look, you can see yourself. But we got Periscope scoping during the Morning Oats session. So.
And now let's begin the discussion.
Let's start the discussion.
Dang it.
Start the discussion.
Dang it.
All right, so this makes sense what we're gonna talk about as far as, this video. So we're gonna be talking about social media and how that's kind of changed, I feel like, my life, your life, people's, how we live, how things go. So I want to bring it over to my brother first because I want him to kind of talk first this time.
Okay, so there's a lot of like slack, I guess, for social media. A lot of people think that it causes a disconnect. We're blasting music over here. It causes a disconnect with like personalities and connections and friends. And I kind of see the point, but I also kind of disagree with that. I think that there's never been a better time, if you're intentional about it, to like reach out and to get a hold of people and to contact people. I think a lot of people, they expect like, well, of course they feel lonely because all they're doing is scrolling through and not engaging with anything. But if you find out that a friend is interested in hiking and you go, hey, I didn't know you were interested in hiking. I would love to get into that, on a random comment. That's a connection that you wouldn't have had before.
Yeah.
And so
there's so many hearts coming into the Periscope. If you guys don't know what Periscope is, you should definitely find me on it. I'll link it down in the description. But it's like you live stream, and it's just very easy to like live stream and do things. So they're like right under you guys, and it's funny seeing them comment about what we're talking about. But as far as like social media goes, I feel like it's like a double-edged sword, right? It's really good, and like there's a lot of things that we have been able to gain from it, and a lot of awesome things that have come from it. But there's also that negative part. Yeah. Like at least for me, I'm gonna be honest, right? There are times where if I don't have my phone on me, I feel like anxious and like, what's going on? This is like something's bad is happening, Like I need my phone on me. I need to be able to have access to all these people. But it's like that's probably not good, It's probably not the best thing to be happening. But I feel like that's with a lot of people.
I remember one time, so I work at Starbucks, and it was around the beginning of my Starbucks career, and I had to start work. I was in Chula Vista, so I worked like half an hour away.
Yeah, that was crazy to drive there.
And I left my phone in my car on accident one morning, and it was like an 8-hour shift. I'm like, you know what? I don't need my phone. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave my phone in my car for the entire thing. So when I get into my car, it'll be like, oh wow, like look at all these people that got a hold of me.
Not one.
Not one.
Are you really?
No. 8-hour day, and I had not one notification. And I was like, all right, well, this is my life. Like I was so excited about it, and it was just so like
they're all laughing at Cajon right now. They're telling him how much of a loser he is. But I feel I'm the same way. Like as far as like if I almost get excited sometimes, like if I leave my phone, because like my social media is pretty much my job, right? Which is crazy, by the way, which is another thing we can talk about. But social media is pretty much my job. So if I don't have my phone on me, it's almost exciting because like I know when I go to it, I'm gonna have like a bunch of stuff to get to. But it's exciting, but then it's also like kind of nerve-wracking because like I'm gonna have a bunch of stuff to get to, and I'm gonna have to talk to all these people and get back to all these emails and all these comments. And I'm just like, oh gosh.
But like that's also where the danger could be, though, is like, what if my identity was found in people trying to get a hold of me? What if like everything I was about was like, I need people talking to me? That could have been a devastating moment when I realized 8 hours in and no one got a hold of me that whole day. To be fair, you start work at like 4, so 8 hours in and it's only like midday.
Yeah, but 12. Still, man, that would be rough.
But yeah,
it's pretty crazy how you can connect. What I like about social media, obviously one of my favorite things, is how I've been able to connect to people. Like right now, there's people watching us stream like live, and there's people in here that I consider family, like Alan, Sarah, Clay. If you're in here, like all of these people, I legit see them as like these are my friends. Someone that just came in, Chainsaw. I know him. I know who that is. His name used to be Big Boy, and he changed it because he doesn't want to be identified as that anymore. So like I feel like I know these people, and I've never met them. I hope to soon, and I hope to. But it's awesome how it can connect you to so many people, but at the same time it can disconnect you from people that are actually in your life. Like,
there's actually
close to you.
Not to get like too
No, man, go for it, man.
like,
I like it.
deep into it or whatever. But there's actually like a form of like depression out there where someone will be like, you know what? I'm gonna stay home and I'm gonna watch Netflix all day. And so in their mind, that was a good idea. And at the end of the night while they're watching the movie, they're scrolling and seeing this person went to the beach. This person hung out with this friend. And they're like, where were my texts? Where were my calls? Where were my... And it's like this whole new form of like, I don't remember what it's necessarily what it's called, but it's this whole new form where it's like, because you didn't know that you were missing out on stuff until you started looking at social media.
Yeah. You like that.
Because
I totally get that.
Netflix that's a good idea sometimes. Like sometimes what you need to do.
Netflix is always a good idea.
Yeah. Like right now I'm watching a show called The 100, and it's like the worst show I've ever watched. But
Really?
But I also am super addicted to it.
This is terrible. Next episode.
Yeah, exactly. And but like I'll just like spend nights where I'm like watching it.
It's funny how people are just like agreeing with what we're saying.
Yeah. But not realizing like, oh, my best friend went and did this today.
Yeah, no, I totally.
What the heck? Like,
why didn't you invite me?
Yeah.
And then like, cause like you wouldn't have back in the day, even 20 years ago, you wouldn't have known that those people went there, did that stuff, did all those things. But now you do, and it's like, wow, I want to be invited to everything in the world, and everyone needs to invite me to everything. Honestly, it's just not. Like that doesn't make any sense.
Okay. Do you remember your first cell phone?
Yes, I remember it. You paid for it.
I didn't remember that.
You don't remember that?
No.
Well, you paid for my first cell phone plan.
Okay.
So I was in high school. I was a junior, and I had this flip phone that he paid for the plan, and it wasn't unlimited anything. So it was like I had to be very careful. And remember we shared, what was it, 500 minutes of talk time, and we never used it ever at all.
Yeah.
Because like we were able to talk to cell phones unlimited. It was just like pretty much 500 minutes to landlines. It was weird.
Yeah, it was like if they had the same plan as you.
Yeah, exactly.
And
so
the girl I was talking to did.
Yeah,
so it didn't
exactly.
like.
We never went over at all. But I remember how many friggin' texts.
Okay, so I would maybe use. I can't believe this, but I would use like 50 texts a month. Like I wasn't like that. I didn't do that.
He didn't have.
You would have like thousands of texts, and I would like look at the usage, and it was just like thousands of just. I'm like, what are you doing? Just texting everyone, hey, like every morning.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Back in the day when I was a heavier gentleman, and this was in high school, so like, I mean, I'm like, there's a lot of girls that I'm, you know what I mean, around and that are in my vicinity and that I have their numbers. So I was.
You would do that.
Embarrassing.
You would do that.
I would send the same text like, "Good morning, how are you?" to like 15 girls and just be like, "Let's see what happens."
Nope.
That was before like that. Well, I mean, Facebook existed and stuff, but that was like before it was like how it is now.
Yeah.
But then I remember one time, this is embarrassing. There's two friends that I would send the same text to, and then they texted me like, "Why do you send us the same text?" And I was like, "What, me?" No, I never did that. I was so embarrassed. I was like, oh gosh, this is embarrassing. But yeah, social media is cool, man. It's changed my life drastically.
Yeah.
And it's just getting better. Like Periscope, I know I keep talking about it, but it's so cool. Like it is so cool. There's people that are just commenting on literally what we're talking right now. That's why I've kind of been looking down a little bit maybe in this video.
Yeah, I've been trying to avoid
I'm
that.
trying not to, but it's hard because there's two cameras going on right now.
Like the bummer is like so on my phone, I've got the cracked screen syndrome, where it's like it's pretty bad. It's pretty darn bad. And also this camera broke, so like on my Instagram, like I generally try to do more like pictures and stuff, and I literally can only take selfies. Like that is, and I'm not a big I'm not a big selfie guy.
Yeah.
Like that's not.
I can only take selfies, so that's why I have.
So like if I try to take a picture, I have to like make sure I'm like facing that way, and it's like the weirdest like.
Yeah, that's not fun at all.
So it's like these weird adaptations we have to take just in order to stay social.
To stay social. Yeah, it's funny now. Now think about it like this. This is something that I think too, and it's probably bad, but it's how I think. Like if someone's not on like Instagram or like Twitter, and like I'm like, that person's probably real weird. I wonder how weird that's probably the kid in school that nobody talked to and they have no friends. It's not true, but like not everyone has this much time to be on social media. But in my head, if you don't have all the social medias, I'm like, I wonder what's wrong with that person.
So I got a question. Why haven't you jumped into Tumblr world?
It confuses me. It really does. I've tried to. I've made
tried.
like 4 Tumblrs, I think. And like I made for Twitter, I just recently got into it. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it. But I didn't understand it. I didn't get it. That's me. Someone's saying that's me. I'm the one that doesn't.
We got a loser in here.
Loser. I didn't understand Twitter for the longest time, and now I've just started. Like, I've realized that it's more because I would see people with like 10,000 followers, and they'd post something and they'd only get like maybe 100 retweets or like favorites, and I was like, they bought all their followers. But that's just how it works. Like, you have a lot of followers, and everyone sees what you post, but not everyone interacts with it. I've realized
that's like my favorite thing about Twitter.
Yeah.
And I don't use it that much because I don't do just a lot of like.
Yeah, exactly.
Posts. And I need to get better. I need to get better.
Like this, like the reason that I didn't use Twitter was like, if you're just, okay, this is gonna sound terrible, but if you're like a regular person that has maybe 200 followers, it's hard to get into it because you'll post something and literally nothing will happen. Yeah. Nobody favorites it, nobody does anything, but everyone sees it. That's what's cool about Twitter. Everyone sees it. On Facebook, it's like, Facebook's like, we are gonna let 10% of the people that follow you on Facebook see this.
That's what's frustrating to me.
Yeah.
It's like, my Facebook feed is like 1 hour ago. 3 days ago.
7 weeks ago. Last year.
It's the most frustrating. I don't care. I don't care about,
I want to know what's going on now, not last week.
So that's what I appreciate about Twitter, but Twitter definitely is like, you are less likely to be like, hey, what's your name? Oh, your name is Ben? Like, what's your Twitter?
Yeah,
be like,
nobody does it. It's what's your Facebook, and then you get their Twitter from there.
Or their Instagram.
Yeah, Facebook is like the house, and then there's other like cars, and then there's
rooms
like,
and departments.
Yeah, exactly. And I also like Snapchat a lot too, but I feel like I've been enjoying Periscope more because it's even more live. Like, Snapchat's cool, and you can totally go through like your whole day, but Periscope's cool because you can like go through your whole day and see people talking to you during your whole day. You know what I mean? It's really fun.
That is cool. And it's owned by Twitter, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's owned by Twitter. But yeah. And yeah, someone says like nobody uses Facebook anymore. That's pretty true. Not many people use Facebook as much as they used
I remember the first time I like talked to a kid, not a kid, but like someone younger than me, about like, well, I remember the first time when they said, I was like, something about Facebook, and they're like, Facebook? Who uses Facebook? And I was like, what? What?
No, not me. I don't use Facebook.
Not me at all.
Only dorks that use Facebook, you know what I'm saying? Or think about how like MySpace went like, and then it doesn't exist anymore.
Well,
if it does.
It's a different thing now.
It's like a music thing, but like if someone's like, hit me up on MySpace, I'm like, absolutely not. There's something wrong with you. Something's wrong. You're on MySpace? I don't. Nope. I'm sorry, not gonna happen. But yeah, that's gonna be the video, I think, because this is already way too long. So I am done with my oats, and I actually am done. Okay, maybe I'm almost done with my coffee.
I'm pretty much done.
Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks to all the people in Periscope that are here right now. Make sure you add me on Periscope. Make sure you add my brother on Facebook and YouTube.
YouTube, Facebook,
MySpace,
Twitter,
Periscope, Snapchat.
All that.
Make sure you add him all on social medias so he feels important. He is actually pretty awesome. He has a mustache and I don't. It's no fair. Alright, so I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. There was one other thing that I wanted to say. What was it? Oh yeah, look how buff I am!